So I just got a phone call, not from Dozer. I got a phone call from my MP, Wayne Long. Anybody know who Wayne Long is? Well, he's my MP in St. John. Wayne Long is liberal. I'm not. I think I made it quite clear that there's a lot of things that our federal government stands for that I disagree with, a lot of directions that they're going that I don't think is healthy for our country. I don't think is representing who we are as a nation, nor does it honor God. So I don't support it, which makes it interesting when my MP is liberal. So Bill C-10 is a bill that I have concerns with, as it infringes on our freedom of speech and a variety of other things. And so I called Wayne Long's office, and I got his secretary, and I said, I just want to know how Wayne's voting on Bill C-10. She goes, I'll have to get him to call you back. That, to me, is code speak for, nice talking to you. Bye for now. And I didn't really expect a phone call, but I got one. I had a short conversation with him, but it was good. And Wayne said if there's an amendment isn't made to it, and he believes that it's going to be, but if an amendment isn't made to it, he will not vote for it. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. One of his platforms was that he was going to hold the government to account. Now, that was interesting. When I started thinking about his platform, I was like, man, if your platform is to hold your government to account, why would you stay in that party if you think it needed to be held to account in that way? Why didn't you run against it? And I got to thinking of something that I heard Ben Stiller way back in the day, like this was when I was in Bible college, I was talking about a seat at the table, and he said a lot of people don't want to get involved in politics because of all the things that are going wrong in politics. And he's not wrong. There are. And he said there's a lot of people that think that if you're going to be in politics, you're going to have to compromise. And it was an interesting conversation. But he went back and he said, the scripture says we need to be in this world. We need to be wise as serpents. I'm like, really? What does that mean? Well, it means that we need to recognize how the game is played, and we need to play it effectively. And it's like, playing the game? Yeah, actually, to a certain degree it is. Why? Because there's a goal. Some people win, some people lose, and there's rules to play by. And sometimes we are not going to get our way. Sometimes we're not. What's going to happen is not going to represent our values, not going to represent our morals, not going to represent the direction that we want a country or our lives to go. And I mean, with this COVID thing and everything that's been happening, there's been a lot of conversation about how things have not gone the way that a lot of people think they should have. But what happens when you get up and you say, okay, I'm not going to vote anymore, or I'm not going to call my MP, or I'm not going to get involved anymore because I don't get my way all the time? Well, what happens is things start going worse. Someone says, well, you can't stop the tide. It's like, well, no, but if the tide needs to be stopped, maybe you need to build a dike, get some sandbags, do the work, make things happen, make things change. And maybe it's not going to stop all the tide, but you might clear a space that's needed in your life and the lives of people around you. I believe that we're called to give unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. And part of that is being part of the political dynamic that we live in. And one of those things is to vote. Now, there's a vote coming up now. I'm not going to tell you how to vote. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. But I am telling you that what I understand the scripture is that we have an opportunity to make a difference, and standing up and saying, okay, this is what we stand for, this is what we believe in, this is how we're going to vote, this is how we're going to make a difference, is part of the calling that every Christian has. So I want to encourage you in that way. I want you to study the scripture and see what Jesus said. See how that applies to our lives. Wayne Long has a place at the table with the Liberal Party, and he's holding them to account. And He's not compromising, at least in this area. So from what he's told me, and he says his track record would defend that. I think we need people in every party, in every place, to stand up and hold to account the values and the morals that we stand for. And as Christians, we need to make sure that in the government there are people like that. So, anyways, that was my thought today. If Wayne hadn't called me, I'd probably be thinking about something else. But hope that's been an encouragement to you. God bless you.